Now you're going to be a professional baseball player.
I'm debuting at Fenway Park as an 18-year-old boy. I was a boy. And I'm thinking, boy, I was 10 years old. My father left us. My mother, I had a flash, kind of a flash reel of how did I get from 10 to Fenway Park at 18? And I remember being so nervous and so scared. I'm like, I don't belong here. And the second day, I think I faced Roger Clemens. And it was a day game in Fenway, and you could barely see the ball. And literally, my knees were shaking. And then the game ended, and some of the guys are going to a bar to have a few drinks and getting some food. And of course, I was 3 years away from even being able to get in a bar because I was 18. And then most of their guys, you hear them talking to their wives and their kids, and I'm calling my mother. I'm like, Mom. I was so embarrassed. I remember I would go to the bathroom, lock the door, and say, Mom, I went 0 for 4 again. If I keep this up, I won't be around very long.
I talked to one of your good friends, and he said at the time, he was playing at Florida State, and he said that you would call and have him put the phone down so that you could hear what life was like in a collegiate atmosphere.
Yeah.
Which tells me that you missed those guys,
yeah.
and B, you felt like you missed something with the college lifestyle.
Yeah, I'm in Appleton, Wisconsin. Kind of debuting my career in A-ball for the Seattle Mariners.
And they're in college.
And they're in college. They're all in great campuses, Florida State, Florida, Notre Dame, you name it, Stanford. And I'm calling them all the time, like, oh man, how's college life? How is it? And I envied it. I was so jealous that I wanted to be there. And of course, they wanted to be where I am as a professional. So it was this kind of yin and yang thing.
Are you a goal guy? Did you set goals for yourself when you get drafted #1 overall? Was there a benchmark in your mind? I want to get to the big leagues by X. When I get there, I want to do this. I want to be an all-star by this age. Were you one of those guys?
I wasn't kind of a goal. I was always obsessed with the process. I knew that I had a unique talent that God gave me. I was tall, and I was strong, and I was fast. But I got demoted 5 times, 5, in 1995 by Lou Piniella. And I was so frustrated. So I walk into this office, it's smoky. And as you remember, Joe, he had this small little office. So if you light up a cigarette, it's just like, can't even see him. And he had a couple drinks, and he said, son, I'm going to have to send you down again to the minor leagues. And I said, again? The 5th time? I said, how can this be productive for me? Why not just leave me in AA, let me get 500 at-bats, and let me graduate to the big league level? I just don't agree with you guys. And on the way home, I was crying, called my mother. It was back home, it's probably 1:30 back in Miami. Yeah, of course, I lived with my mom at the time, and I said, Mom, I'm coming home. And she goes, no, you're not. I'm changing the lock, so you better stay there.
Wait, you were going to quit?
Well, I was just thinking, this is, I guess, what people talk about plan B. Plan B is maybe I get to go back to the University of Miami and play quarterback and live out my other dream, but this is just not good. And when my mom told me that plan A was not, an option to quit, I said to myself, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna work my butt off, and I'll never give them an opportunity to send me back down again. So I went down to Miami, and I kind of curated this kind of 10-hour work schedule where I was gonna get up at 6, run the mountain at a tropical park, go to the University of Miami, run the track, then go with Monica and Swayze and lift weights, who ran the University of Miami football team conditioning program, go home, take a nap, and then at night go back and run that hill again. And I did that every day, 6 days a week for 4 months. And then when I showed up again in 1996, I was ready to rock and roll.
The quote on the wall is, enjoy your sweat, because hard work doesn't guarantee success, but without it, you don't have a chance. I mean, that to me is exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's just the way I'm a process guy. I feel like you need to put in the work. You need to put in your 10,000 hours. And it's funny, now I sit and I advise our general partner with the New York Yankees, Hal Steinbrenner. And I tell him, before we appraise our young players, it takes about 2,500 at-bats or 5 seasons to really get a clear appraisal on what we have with these kids. I think a lot of times we make judgment way too quickly. And that's just what I believe.